did you find love in the middle of the apocalypse?
I don't know. You tell me. That's an interesting thing, isn't it? That I guess sometimes romance hits us in a moment that's maybe less than perfect, or not a moment where we're looking. So yeah, it's definitely a shocking sort of setting for romance to happen. But I feel like it's also the kind of thing that happens in real life, where we run into the right person at the wrong time. And sometimes it works out, and sometimes it's too long. Yeah, I think that's clever too, that they've chosen to set sort of a connection inside this horrible situation. That was fun to play. It's a very different relationship where you can't get within 4 to 6 feet of each other. Yeah, it makes it challenging to forge a bond if you're getting to know each other from 6 feet away. Yeah, definitely interesting.
At the end of the second episode, Katie kind of goes and tells Jake, the kids are acting better than you are, and handling this better than you are. Does Jake take that to heart, and kind of does that change how he is approaching things, or is he just kind of blow it up and is like, I don't like where I'm at and what's happening, so I'm just going to, continue being who I am?
Yeah, I think fortunately he's the kind of guy who probably hears what she's saying, whether or not he takes it well, and responds to it positively in the moment. That's up for debate, but I do feel like he's the kind of person who will walk away from hearing something like that, and it'll sort of stay with him and nag at him, because at least for me, in playing him, when I look at this guy, he feels like the type of person who, even though he's hardened, even though he's closed off, even though he wants to be this tough guy who's just a little less caring, he's got this teddy bear thing inside of him, and he's actually quite warm, and through whatever he's gone through in his life, he's shut that part of him off, and he feels it open with her a little bit. Even the first episode, we see a glimmer of that, that he's a little softer with this woman for some reason, and I think when she says hey, stop being a child, grow up and do something that can help people, I think that taps into that really actually emotionally evolved part of him he suppresses. Hopefully it makes him do the right thing.
I like that your character is one of very few cops in the cordon, and he's never been tested like this.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we, David, who plays Lex, David and I talked a lot with law enforcement officers. We worked with LAPD and with Atlanta PD officers, researching, police skills, and we did some exercises to learn a lot of the standard training tools that officers would have, and things we actually don't end up using that much on the show. Even, we were not doing routine traffic stops, but those skills sort of inform the way that you approach a high-tension situation, especially a viral outbreak. It's the same concept of keeping your distance, observing, hypervigilance, and trying to assess the situation and protect your partner. And that was valuable, and also the other side of it was valuable was hearing what the protocol actually is for a situation like this, and it's terrifying to know that there's not maybe it doesn't go any further than that. There's not this doesn't, we would watch the show and think this doesn't happen here, this can't happen, or this won't happen, but we think that until it does. And with any catastrophe, be it this massive evil of terrorism in the world that we're facing right now, with ISIS or even Al-Qaeda going back to 9/11, when things like that happen, it's the moments before that we say, not here. And that's what these people face with this situation, with this virus, is law enforcement isn't necessarily prepped for it because no one's expecting it. So they're trained in the things that they're supposed to expect. And so when you give these officers who are hyper-vigilant and are given the training for other skills, they're forced to adapt those skills into this brand new situation. And hearing from a few officers when I said, like, what would you do in this situation? And seeing their faces just sort of drop. I'm like, oh my God, I guess I would do this. You know, they're improvising. And that was huge for us to discover, is that there isn't a right or a wrong way. So watching these characters on the show, everyone's reaction, to me at least, is believable, because there's no way to predict how you would handle yourself, and the officers are no different. They're forced to use the wonderful skills and tools that they have in a totally bizarre and structureless situation. So, yeah, in the long-winded answer.
How do you think you would react in that situation if it did happen?
That's the thing we start to ask, isn't it, when we watch the show? Gosh, I mean, the only thing that feels safe, knowing as much as I know about, like, our version of that.
You have a heads up.
I have a little bit of a heads up.
Actually, just by being in the show.
If it's anything like that, I feel like I understand it.
You're like, I'm ready for this one. All right.
But yes, you hide. Like, I can't imagine. I mean, in my character, I really, that was something that my empathy really was able to connect to in working, in this guy's situation. Was he's doing these tasks that nobody would want to do. No one wants to willingly go out and face this thing, and be the one to bring them in, be the one to handle them in the facility, while they're alive, while they're dead. No one wants that job. You want to stay alive, and exposing yourself to the virus willingly seems like the craziest thing you can do. But it's hard to say, like, I would just protect myself and my loved ones and be selfish, but it's also, that is our instinct. So, and also seeing, like, it doesn't go well for a lot of people who don't play it safe in the world. So I would grab my loved ones and hide.
Well, that's being honest. I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely.